Pete Hegseth is over here at the maps. Let's take a look at what Pete has drawn up for us. Pete Hegseth, what do you got?
Jesse, things are changing rapidly, as you're talking about tonight. So this is a map from yesterday, March 2nd. You look at the areas controlled by the Russians. Just move one day forward. Not a lot of movement on the map, but the airstrikes continue, and increasingly indiscriminate. One detail that maybe has not gotten as much coverage as it could, Zelensky asking civilians to take up arms could be a rationalization, a twisted one, a justified one that Putin could take to target civilian areas, saying, well, you're combatants now. And we're seeing that in places like Mariupol and Kharkiv, which are encircled and being targeted tonight. But that nuclear plant that you just mentioned, Jesse, in the south of Ukraine, and it is part of the encroachment, the offensive advantage that the Russians have shown in the last 24 hours, especially prominent in the southern part of the country. We know about all the axes of advance in the north, Kharkiv, in the disputed areas in the east and through the south. But in the south, they've made advances in ways that we haven't seen in the north. And there's a reason for that, Jesse. Part of the reason for that, let me clear the map and clear the scanner. Part of the reason for that is that down in the south, you see that, we're going to advance it one more time. Crimea, which we know was taken by the Russians 8 years ago, they've got significant basing down there. They've got the ability to project troops. In the north, they had military exercises in Belarus and elsewhere where they can't project the logistics. And as someone who's been in these types of situations, if you don't have the food, the fuel, and the logistics to move it forward, things will stall, and they've stalled quickly. But in the south, they have not. And they're moving toward Odessa, taking over Kherson. The flag of Ukraine still flies over Kherson, may give you a sense, even though it's been taken over by the Russians. Vladimir Putin may not want to occupy, may want to pacify and bypass, which we've seen in Kherson. Then, of course, as you've talked about all night, the land bridge to the additional portion in the east could give them a logistical advantage. They want to, as you've talked about, control the Black Sea. And these bombardments of these populations likely meant to create an opportunity where they can punch through. And where do they want to punch through to? They want to punch through to the ultimate prize, where there have been some developments when we showed March 2nd to March 3rd, Jesse. One of the things that has changed is significant movement just to the east of Kiev, where they've been. Now, these forces are minimal. I don't want to overplay that. They're not as the large tank columns that we see stalled outside the capital and some moving out on the east. But if they can move from the south, as this is an anaconda python type approach. We know about Russia has not been able to completely control the skies, but they still have overwhelming combat power and capabilities. What I'm hearing the same thing General Keane talked about. They're deploying troops likely from across Russia as far off as the Pacific, which means they are all in on this, which is precisely what Emmanuel Macron said today. They're in, and they're not backing off.
So do me a favor, pull out wide to the map so we can see the whole country for us, because I think I've noticed something, and you've probably seen the same thing. If they come up from the east and they come up from the south and they come down from the north on the eastern section of this country, at some point, the Ukrainian forces are just going to get swallowed.
That's exactly right.
They're going to be completely surrounded on all sides as they move up the river from the south to the north, and they're going to be surrounded, and then it's just going to be ungodly.
That's part of the strategy, Jesse. At the beginning of the conflict, 60% of Ukraine's forces were in the east. They've been fighting a war there for 8 years. What percentage of those have moved west to reinforce? We're not quite sure. But what the Russians want to do is cut it in half.
And if they cut it in half, they can't flee west. And they're just going to be strangled like an anaconda.
And you could also cut this off, which stops the ability to reinforce from the west as well.
Right. I mean, you can see it playing out in real time. Thanks so much, Pete Hegseth at the map.
Thank you, Jesse.
That was great.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.